I? Hello, come out, Carolynne. Where are you? Hello. Trying to find you guys. Find you. Could that be me? There he is. Oh. I need someone that says mute your iPad before going live. Oh, and I don't have it muted here either. Jeez. I'm a slacker today, y'all. A slacker. How is everybody today? Oh, comments. Come on. Okay, comments don't want to work on there. Maybe I'll find you on here. I mean, you know, I got like a phone and this and that, you know, that should, one of them should work. So let me get this going. Done. Let's find you here. Hopefully it's on. Yes. Yes. Found you right away. Woo! Kudos to me. Hey, Janet. I am doing fine. How are you, Sally? I just talked to you, girlfriend. Hello, Janice. How are you? Diane and Peggy and Brenda. I feel like, you know, in the romper room. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Linda. Hi, Gary. They used to do that. Okay, I'm telling my age. That's all I can say. Telling my age. So, I got to get better at this. I'm going to put a sign up there that says, I'm Carolynne from NonnasNuttykrafts. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest, Etsy, and I have a YouTube. Instagram, still working. So, hey, Lori, how are you? So, I told you guys last night that I wanted to do the farmhouse. Where did I put my sign? Dun, dun, dun. Farmer, man. Chickens are out, you know. They go wild and crazy. So we got to gather them up. Hey, Lori. So this is what we're going to do today. This is going to be for, I say a customer. It's my daughter's mother and father-in-law for Christmas. I'm a little early, don't you think? I figured, why not? Now, I will tell you the story with all this. I decided to do a red frame. Now, she's very kind of simple and country. Not all the sparkly, glittery stuff. Harry? Hey, Fonda. Hey, Barbara. Kind of a person. And I want this to go out on her door. I made her one last year for Christmas. The tractor, the John Deere tractor one. So I have pulled red mesh, I pulled black mesh, and I originally pulled jute mesh to do first. And jute mesh, yeah, that sounds weird. Jute. And then I put that away, and then I went red, then I went black, and then I found this that I had. Hey, Janet. I know, I like the sign. Leslie Rains, R-A-I-N-S, is the one who did the sign. I've had this many months. I don't know if she's still doing them, but that's her name. But when I was down at the beach, at Myrtle Beach, at the pottery barn, old-time pottery, I came across this. It's black, white, and red. And it's all poly. And I laugh because I normally don't read the stickers on these. And I just thought it says unique. It says unique. Polyester mesh of floral for floral wrapping and decoration. This deco mesh is waterproof and ideal for fresh silk flowers, gift baskets, packing. I don't know what you want to pack. Which I wouldn't want to use this to throw in a box. Wrapping and much more. So I thought that was just so funny because most of them you get saying, you know, oh, it's decor mesh on it, you know, kind of thing. But I thought that was kind of funny on that one. Thanks, Janet. Hey, Linda, welcome from Ohio. We're in Virginia, so a little northeast. You can type the word alert, and Rosie will send you a message in your personal messenger, and you can type the word alert back to her in there, and that way you'll get alerts every time we go live. You can also, to get it two ways in case she, you know, she goes out to lunch with her robot friend sometimes. Just hit anywhere on the screen, those little white dots pop up, and hit the notification on there too. So you get it two ways, just in case. Thank you. Hey, Betty. Hey, Vicky. Peggy, I know you're in Florida. I got you, girl. So, because I went back and forth, I was like, oh, I had the red and then a red mesh. I thought, okay, with this. And I was like, so I went back to the jute. That was my first instinct. And so that's what I went back to. I'm just going to put this over here. Well, that ain't going to last right now. Let me put it over here so it's out of the way for right now. Remind me where it is, because, you know, I forget. Yay! I'm in West Virginia. So you're my country friend, my next door neighbor from West Virginia, Linda. Oh, that's not what we're doing first. I have not done poofs in a while. We've been doing the pancake method. We did on that wreath last night behind us. And I was like, what's wrong with me? So this is my collapsible mesh roller from Susie Brown. So I have it all set up here. And let's get to going. So I have this roll. I do have another roll in case I run out. I'm hoping I have enough. So we'll see. If not, I got another whole roll. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Irene. How are you? Alright, so we're going to crunch this baby up. I'm going to start on the inside. You can start inside, outside. I always start on the inside. I'm going to find one that's close to the one down below, like this one. Now what I did too, got to put a clip on this, just because I don't want to gather it again. What I try to do, if I see that these are loose, see how that's loose, I'll go around with my little handy dandy ears, and I'll go ahead and clip it, try to crunch it a little bit tighter than what it was. I got to figure out which way it's going though. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Well, it will stay. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, I got you now. Let's do this. Is this tied together? We're going to cut this baby off because this part right here on the little metal thing is going to break. So we're just going to take it off. It was wackily bent, probably by yours truly. So I'm just going to take these two, just twist them together, put them back in the box, and I'll twist it once around. Voila! There we go. So what I try to do is start with one that's close to another one. So when I come down from the top row, I can just come down to the bottom row, and I'm going to start with that one that was wonky. We'll just start with that baby. Hello, Miss Beth. How are y'all today? I like your new profile picture. Hey, Melissa. Back from your vacation at Wreath Makers. Oh, wait, excuse me. Crafters Convention. Everybody was gone this weekend. All right, so I'm going to just put it in. I'm going to give it a really tight tie. I am going to take a zip tie. Now you can fold this back if you want to. Fold it underneath and put it underneath there. I just go with whatever mood I'm in today. And I feel like a zip tire today. And I'm going to go about an inch from where I did it. And then I'm going to cut it off. Hey Norma. Hey Carol. How are you? Oh girl, it was hot here today. Yesterday was even worse because we had that rain and some hail last night when I was on my live with you guys, and it kind of cooled things down. So today I was being such a good student. I was working on my Damon's Teachables, and I knocked out 4 classes. I only have 2 more classes to go, and then I've knocked out all of his Teachables. And I've already knocked out all of his wreath chateau, which is his design class. So I just keep up to date on that. So, oops, missed the garbage pail. Helen, how are you? It's my person I met in Hobby Lobby the other day. Woohoo! Alright, so I go about an inch from the tie and then about an inch from the zip tie. And then I'm going to do my poofs. Your poofs can be whatever size you want. You make the decision if you want an 8, 10, 12, whatever. I think, because I'm going going to do, let's see, this is 10 inches. Do I want to do 10 inches? Let's do 10 inches on the inside, and I'll probably do 12 on the outside because this is a raised frame, and I do want it to cover. If I do smaller, I don't want to have any gaps in here. Girl, I tried to look for you back in Hobby Lobby after we met. I went down half that store and I was looking down the aisles, far down, and I didn't see you. You must have zipped out of there after we talked. That was so funny. Helen, I went to Hobby Lobby and did a shopping spree, in case those of you that don't know. And she, I guess, evidently heard me on the next aisle over and came around and was like, hey, I watch you. I was just watching you from work. And so she is a follower. She is such a sweet lady. She's on the live. I asked her, you want to be on the live? So I don't get to meet, you know, like most of us, we just don't get to meet our followers sometimes because we're all over. But it's so nice to meet them when we can. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Joanne. So, we are doing, those of you that just coming in, we are doing a farmhouse. You know, the farmer let all the pigs and the cows out tonight. Jeez, what was he thinking? And I thought it was appropriate because today, these are 10-inch poofs, just to let you know. I was out gardening. I did my classes. I got up at 8:30, probably started about 8:45, worked till 12 o'clock working on my classes, being a good little student. You know how we hate going to... When I was in 12th grade and I graduated, I didn't want to go to college. I told my parents I want to take a year off, right? And they said, well, if you take a year off, you're not going to want to go. I said, I'm just burned out from going to school for the last 12 years. And they're like, no, you need to go. So I'm glad I went, did my college and all. And of course, through life, you know, you got to take classes or whatever, you know, with your jobs. And I hate doing that. I get like this. So I'm glad if I can take a class and do my own thing. So, but I'm a good student, and like I said, I worked till 12 on the classes, broke. My husband was out mowing the lawn and everything today. I saw you at the beginning of my visit, and when you went down and I went, sorry you didn't catch. Oh my God, did you really? Because after I finished, I went to the Americana, Helen, and I checked out, and then I said, I got to go back and find her. No, I finished Americana, and that's what I did because my battery was dying. And then I went looking for you, and I got about half the store looking down the aisles, and I got stuck over with the man putting up the scarecrows. So I said, well, maybe she's gone. But anyway, hey Kim, hey Krista, how are you? Come on in and join the fun, you guys. So when I went outside to go do some weeding, if you guys saw the picture, it was a slug, comes up out of the ground like this, and it like was emerging from the mulch onto the tree. And I went to cut, and I just saw something, and I saw a tan with dots, and I'm thinking snake. That thing could have been 20 feet long, or it could have been that long, but the word snake came to my head, and I was downhill, because the tree's a little bit downhill, and I had to roll uphill, trying to get out of the way, screaming. Then when I realized it was a slug, I was like, duh, you know. So, and then we had the frog in my neighbor's car today. And she's like, hey neighbor, your frog's over here. Because I have a little pond out front and we've had some baby tadpoles. We had one group, they're all gone. Now we got another group in there. And I was like, good Lord, tadpoles. So, she says it's my frog because I have a pond. Since I'm the only one that has a pond around here. So I was like, ugh. I had my gloves on and I got it in my gloves. And the thing isn't that big. It was probably, I don't know, 2 inches, 2.5 inches. It was just a little frog. The males are smaller. The females are bigger. And I got it in my hand. It's trying to get through. And I'm screaming, trying to run to the woods. And my dog's barking. And she's laughing. And I'm like, just throw it. I said, I don't want to throw it. So I'm putting it by the tree. And I'm like trying to keep my dog away. It was one of those just funny little things. All right. So I'm not going to open the poofs till I'm at the end, just because it just makes it easier for me, just to let you guys know. I'm going to put these up so I don't miss them. So now that I finished my first row, and the reason why I wanted to come close to one here, so when I bring this down, I'm not going to be wasting mesh coming in on an angle. So I'm going to bring this down and just give it one little quick tie in this one here. just to hold it in place so it looks like that. I always do my ties one way, so now I'm doing it upside down, so it's probably going to screw me up. And I'm going to do 12 inches on the outside, y'all. Hello, Miss Edwards. How are you? If it's your first time watching, you guys, just type the word alert down below. Rosie will send you a message in my messenger, in your messenger box. Make sure you type the word alert back to her and in there. And then you'll get notifications when I go live. And you can also hit anywhere on the screen. Those 3 little white dots pop up. Hit that notification button up there too. Now, if all of those fail, you can go on my homepage, NonnasNuttykrafts on Facebook, and there's a big red alert button there. So, and once you've done it, you don't have to do it again. It's in you're in my groupies. Hey, Vicky from Kentucky. Wow, I got a lot of people from Tennessee, West Virginia. I got all the East Coasters, the New Englanders here. Is Kentucky one of the... No, Kentucky's not one of the 12. Oh, God, here goes my history. Oh, gosh, I'm bad. I'm bad. And I know, was it May? May. I'd said about doing the 50 states again, and that maybe we could do like a raffle. But with everything going on with Joey and Damon's sister, I didn't feel it was right to do it then. So just a FYI, you guys may not remember about it, but I said I have a map that has the 50 states, and we try to get all 50 states. And last time we got 36, which was pretty good. Oh, I'm not going to quite make it, but that's okay. Hey, Melody. Hey, Peggy. Concord, California. Minnesota in the house. Wisconsin in the house. Good Lord, we got everybody tonight. North Carolina. Hi, Willie. Cool. I love having everybody. Oops. Ran out of mesh, but I got more mesh down here, so we're cool. So this is good because those people that don't know how to continue to mesh on, I'll show you how to do that. Ooh. And I save these things and give them to my daughter's preschooler because they make little swords and things during the summer. You're going to hear this clunk. Sorry. Just want it out of the way. So we're doing 12-inch poofs on the outside, 10-inch on the inside. West Coast here. West Coast is in the house. East Coast, West Coast. Hey, baby. And we got some Midwesterners here too. Woohoo! Missouri and Michigan. Girls, I should be doing my map tonight. Everybody's telling me where they're from. I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know where it is because since we're remodeling, stuff is everywhere. And I'll have to go find it now that I think about it. Alright, so we're getting to the end here. I think I can make one last poof with this round here. Yuppers, I can. How close was I? I was only 3 poofs short. Dang. Dang. And I probably could have done it if I did a little smaller, but that's okay. Southern Illinois. Miss Edwards, we're in Southern Illinois because I used to live in Lake Zurich, which is northwest of Chicago. So curiosity, where? All right, here comes the crinkle loud sounds that I hate. And this is a jute, same one I had, but we're going to add onto it. I brought extra ties out because I was curious. Texas. Hey, Miss Janet. Michigan. Rose Clare down on the Ohio River. Good God, girl. What the heck is the Ohio River? Let's see. It was Illinois and Ohio was next to it. So you're more east coast of Illinois? If I remember. Wait a minute. Isn't it Illinois, Indiana, Ohio? Or is it Indiana, Ohio? I get Indiana, Ohio flipped. which comes first? Is it Illinois, Ohio, then Indiana, isn't it? Good God, you could tell I went to school. Listen, I wasn't a history major. All right, you could do this several different ways. I could take this and poof it underneath here and just, you know, leave the rest of this and it'll make it a bigger poof. I can zip tie it and then zip tie the next one. So I think what I'm doing is I'm just going to put this underneath. So this is what I'm going to do. I know where my tie is going to be. So I'm going to open this up. Just curl this under is all I'm going to do. Make sure my poof is still 12 inches. And just enough, it gets just enough so that I can go ahead and gather this all together and it will be in the twist tie. And then this part will actually be on the other poof underneath it. But you got to make sure you get it all because you don't want it coming out. That would be kind of embarrassing, wouldn't it? Southeastern lies next to Kentucky, a little south of Indiana border. See, we used to travel over, and now because Cleveland, Ohio, so Illinois and Cleveland. Yeah, Ohio is next to Illinois. Got it. Now I remember. And we used to travel there with our gymnasts, so it was crazy. So that's how you can poof it underneath, okay? Make sure you get all your ends, because you know, you don't want them coming out. So we're going to start the next one here and come over. So the next one I'm going to do it with the zip tie. Just because I don't want it to be so bulky there. So I'm going to gather it again. Hey Tracy, how are you? Whoops. Whoop, there we go. So we're going to put this one underneath the last poof, okay? And I'm going to use a zip tie. Now this one, because I'm going to flip it over so you can see, I got 3 rails here. So I'm going to zip tie it on the inner rail, you know, this piece of it, and then, you know, bring it up in the poof. When I was younger. Oh, okay. I remember Rockford. I used to teach gymnastics. I used to run the gymnastic program up there for the Beulah YMCA, which was in Palatine. I think, yeah, Palatine. And I did that for 2 years. My husband was in the military at that time. And, hold on. We used to go to Rockford to compete. I didn't cut that down enough. Okay, now when I cut these down, I don't like, I don't know if you, well, I got this attached right now. You might not be able to see. The little sharp part after you cut it, I like to make sure this is a really deep wreath, so I still will turn it inward, but I don't want it where if I did it on the outer one, that I would be afraid that it would scratch the door. That's why I chose to do it on that middle one, for that reason. Okay. Oh, did you see my frog? It was my neighbor's frog. She said it was my frog. It was funny because last night on the live, it was hailing and raining, and then it got really quiet. And then all of a sudden, sometimes you guys can hear the frogs, you know, going. And today, sadly, I don't put any chemicals in the water when the tadpoles are in there, and I haven't seen any. I mean, I know we had some baby ones, but I haven't seen them, and I had to put some stuff in there for the algae and to clear it up a little bit. And it's supposed to be friendly stuff, so I don't like to hurt any little animals. I'm going to open this tie, this last tie that I put in here, and I'm going to put this right in on top of it. Let me grab my poop king out. There we go. And do it really tight. Hey, Pam. How are you? Whoops, 22. Oh, 22. 12 inches is the outside poof, y'all. Now, if I feel, once I poop this, if I feel there's a gap, I'll run a 3rd ring in there. You know, because that's just me. And you guys got to help me with the ribbon tonight. You can't see it all. It's kind of hiding over here, but because I couldn't make up my mind. I had a lot of ribbon I want to use, and I figured, you know, once we get the ruffles on, you know, it would be better to decide. Hey, Teresa. So, I can't believe it was only 2 loops I needed, or 3 loops. Now, I like using this because, you know, your things, you make sure they're cuffed under. You don't want them up like that. And this, when I go down, I can just thread it like this. People will throw it on the floor and stuff. You can do whatever you want. I like using the mesh roll. It keeps it from rolling all over the place on me, you know, as well. New York. Now, where in New York? I'm from Long Island originally. I'm in Virginia now. So where in New York? Are you New York, upstate New York, or from the island? I'm from the island. Okay, so we got to the beginning where I came down with it, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the zip tie on it to finish it off here too as well. So I'll do my last poof. And again, I'm going to use that middle rail to tie it off since I don't want anything down. And before I actually do that, let's see how these poofs come out, because if I want to add a 3rd row, I'd rather do it now before I cut that whole thing up. So then I just find my edges. I'll go around, I'll poof it up like this. I'll make sure my edges are tucked under a little bit because it just makes it a more finished poof than having the edges out. The Bronx! Carl, my dad is from Brooklyn. My mom's from Westbury. My dad would always tell my girls when they were babies, you know how babies spit the food out, and he says, "Oh, you're doing the Bronx cheer," you know. And I was like, "Dad, are you from the Bronx or Brooklyn?" And I always had to remember it was opposite of what he said. So, yeah, he grew up. His parents were immigrants from Italy, and they came over and settled in good old Brooklyn. So I'm familiar with. We always used to go take the train in. My aunt and I used to do that when I was a kid, and we'd always go in there. And we would come up at Penn Station, and there was a little church that you'd come out, you walk, and you would go downstairs, and they had these, like in shadow boxes, big displaying, you know, different scenes. And as a kid, I don't remember the name of the church, but you would never know it was there. It literally, I mean, you know, it was like walking down the street and there were steps, like doors going down. And I'm sure it said a name on the church, and I've always wanted to go back to see if it's still there, because that was just a memory I had with my, you know, my aunt, you know, going there. So here we go with this one. Alright, so let's start on the outside. And I think my poofs might be okay that I don't need a 3rd rail in there. A 3rd row, not rail. So did anybody here go to the Crafters Convention? I couldn't go, but I'm going to the Wreath Makers Live next month. It's like 31 days. I'm arriving in on the 31st. I'm taking the business classes. I'm always about learning. And doing that on the 1st, and then the 2nd and 3rd is wreath making. Whatever. So, I'm all excited. I get to meet some people. Some of you that are followers might be there, because there's like 800 people going. So it'll be kind of cool. It'll be kind of cool. I'll be having a shirt that has my NonnasNutty on it. My NonnasNutty? God, my English. NonnasNuttykrafts on it, so you won't be able to miss me because it's bright yellow. So if you see me, come up and say hi. We need one on the West Coast. You know, it's funny, because Damon will only do in Louisiana, and of course Scott is up in Illinois. And it's like, you know, they'll do things. I know Damon goes a lot to Texas and California and stuff, and some of the others. And I keep saying, you know, it would be so nice if each state could like find the wreathers and just hold a thing, even if it's just for you guys to get together. I think that would be just cool. And yeah, if you can get one of those guys to come, or you know, that would even be cooler. But You know, some of them don't want to travel in certain areas. It's too cold or something. But there's, I agree. I agree. They need to have them all over, you know, just to give everybody a chance to go. I think 2 rows is enough, y'all. I think that's enough. So we're not going to do that 3rd row. Yeah. I'm sure. It's like, what do? Okay, we have hurricanes and you know, severe rain here. What does California and all them have? In Washington, they have rain up in Washington. You have snow like we do here, and then you have what, fires over there, or mudslides. You go in the middle, and you're in Oklahoma or someplace in the middle, or even Alaska. You know, and it's like volcanoes. It's like, what state is good? But I think it would be fun. It would give everybody a chance, you know, instead of traveling so much sometimes too, and it makes it easier for everybody. I think it would be good. You gotta find, you know, somebody can do it and promote it and take it from there. That's the best thing I can say. Alright, so we zip tied it. Oops, now I gotta cut it. I'll leave it up just a little bit and I'll just twist it in. Hi, Miss Leslie. How are you, my friend? Welcome, 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 one and all. Alright, so let me cut this up. Why am I like reaching over here? I'm over here. Yeah. Just cut that off. Roll this out of the way. I'm just going to put it on the floor back here. Alright, so let me get these last poofs here. Now you guys got to help me decide with tails because I cannot make a decision with that. So once we get these babies on, and what I did with these, I really like that. I know that sounds braggy, but I do. Alright, so we're just going to do, it's going to be a ruffle. I'm going to fold it in half approximately, and I'm overlapping this one just a little bit on top, and then I'm just crinkling it, or ruffling it. So I've pre-made a bunch. And I'm going to put these upside down this way because I have the poofs going to the side, so this is going to go upside down this way, upside down, vertical. And I'm going to start with the outside. Gosh, I'm just like, whoa, tonight. And I'm just going to do one tie, like 1.5. And that's going to be my little ruffle. Hello, Linda. Oh, you're replying to Leslie. Yeah, you guys, like and share. I can say the word share, but you guys can't. So say bless, spread the love, whatever words you would like to choose for it. So we can have more people come. I love having people. I love having people from all over. It's fun. It makes it fun. We get to know each other. So, here's a question. What is something you guys don't know about wreath making? Or maybe I do and I can help you with. Ask away. Ask away. If you guys want to. Oh, goodness. That one was a little funky there. Look how cute that's coming. I'm glad I switched it to the jute. I am. Even though the black would have been okay, I think the jute is better on this. Hey, Peggy. Yay. Hey, Lisa. Thanks, Peggy. Because this is more country. I think the black would have been too harsh to have up all summer. This is more her. Sometimes you got to make decisions, you know? And you just don't know. So one thing I didn't know when I started wreath making was about the different meshes. You have burlap, you have jute, you have poly, you just have mesh. Pass the love. That's a good one. I haven't heard that one. Thanks, Brenda. That's a cool one to do. Yeah, we got to come up with words. I like that. Pass the love. Good idea. Good idea. Hey guys, also, if you can go to my page, I think well, you can do it here. I'm trying to get up to 2,500 followers, and I have a really cool gift to give away. And I think I only need like 125 more people. So if you know anybody that just wants to come and have some fun with the Nut House, you know, send them this way. But if you want to like my page too, that would be cool. I did get a really nice compliment today. A lady who was new, kind of new. She said, you know, have fun. You know, that I'm funny. I am nutty. Thanks, Brenda. And I like to have fun. I mean, I could sit here and say, now do this and do this. That ain't me. You know, I like to just yickety-yak. Oops. And tonight was just, I wish I had something exciting besides our frog and our slug. That's about as exciting as it got today. I like this combination. Okay, see, y'all know each other. This is good. Friends of friends. Friends of friends. Alright, I think we got one more on the bottom here to go. And then we could start on the top row. Whoops, my clothespin. I hate some of these clothespins because they start coming apart. And then it's like, they go shooting off somewhere. So tomorrow I have my little munchkin at 7:30 in the morning. I was like, really? I said to my daughter, that early? She's like, well, you know, and I was like, okay. And then I have a customer coming at 11:30. She's a local customer and stuff, and I know she's going on a trip and she wants to give the people a housewarming, kind of like, you know, thank you for letting us stay there. Ah, thanks, Brenda. I didn't realize how many different styles and wreaths there are. Yes, there are. You have the poof method. You could do it all in ruffles, whether it's ruffles like this, or I'll show you, let me put this in and I'll show you the other ruffle method you could use. There's the curl method, there's curl and ruffle method, and if you, there's the pancake method, which I did on that one back there. You can check out my live. I did that last night, that one. There are a lot. There's different bows you can do. So one of the, the other ruffle method you could do, there's several. So this one that we're doing here is just fold in half and you ruffle it up, okay? Then you have just a traditional ruffle method. I'm going to put this down here. I like to curl my edge under just a little bit, and then you ruffle it all the way through to the other end and do the same thing. You could do this if you wanted to what they call the woodland curl, where you just kind of curl it into a point. You know, I like, when I do it, I like to do it like this. This is me. You roll it a little bit. Then it's crinkled in. We call that the woodland curl. Then you have a straight up curl that you can do, not that loose, but then you have the Carolynne curl. In case you guys didn't hear about that, that's my little invention. I will take this and I will curl it, let's say about that far, give or take. Do the same from the other side. And what I will keep doing is just curling these babies together so that they meet. So what you have, and what I do is I go like this on both ends, and it gives the illusion that you have two curls. So that's the Carolynne method. So there's, well, I can't do it as the curl and loop and curl because I don't have it cut the right way. Well, I could. The loop and curl you can do where you curl it like this, you pinch it in the sides, then you put these in, you open this up as your poof. So we'll go over some of those things in the class. I'll do some tutorials for you guys. so you guys can see different methods. Hey, Leanne. Oh, I'm glad you're learning. It is all about learning. Lisa. Whoops. Look, I wasn't paying attention. I was going pocket on that. If I missed any comments, I apologize, since I was yakking. Thanks, Sally. Hello, Marianne. I think I got everybody up to that point. Alright, so come back here. Where were we? I always go one way. I can't go the other way. Isn't that weird? I know. I'm weird. Some people will go this way. I have to go this way. I don't know why. I'm a righty, but I can do ambidextrous. So I can write righty and lefty. That one I didn't get in the center. Oh, I'll show it to you. I'll show you, Brenda. I put the sign off to the side since, you know, you never have a works table that's big enough for everything. This is the sign we're going to use. And I have all kinds of chicken wire, red and black, you know, ribbon to use. Let me put this away. Oops. Before I knock it down. And this is the collapsible marshmallow. As you can see, I'm doing it. I always collapse mine because I walk this way. So you guys may not see me collapse it at night, you know, because after I finish, I always collapse it down like that. Because I walk by and I'm always hitting it with my big old butt. The sign came from Leslie Rains, R-A-I-N-S is her name. And I've had that sign a few months. I would say probably I got it maybe back up in March or something. So you could find her. She'll post things on the, is it the D-Stash I think she's on sometimes. But you can look her up and see if she has any more. I got it because my daughter's mother-in-law and father-in-law, they, like the one I did for them at Christmas, there was a red barn with the stone bottom of the barn, and it was like perfect because they have 300 acres of farmland. And, you know, back in the day, they used to do cattle or whatever they do with them, you know, and stuff. But now, of course, they don't. So she lives on, the mother-in-law and father-in-law live on the farm. Her one son does, and her husband's mother, who was 100 years old in April, no, May 3rd, same as my son. She turned 100, lives there with her daughter on the farm, and another, they kind of divided the farm out, so they lease it out, and some of the family members live on it. But I did a John Deere tractor one, and it was like perfect, and I did that one for her for Christmas, because she said, I didn't know, she said she had a wreath, and she's had it for like, I don't know, however many years, and she said this is good, because the other one needed to go. So I thought, you know, that's for Christmas, what is she going to have for the rest of the year? And like I said, very simple people, they do farming, you know, they ride their tractors, they go hunting on the property. It's a lot different than what I'm used to. Culture-wise, and I thought this would be perfect. It's still the red barn, you know, out there, but again, she's not all the glitz and glamour kind of stuff. They're like Harley Davidson people, you know, and stuff like that. So, which is all good, because you know, it's a different culture for me, but I've learned a lot. All right, I think this is the last one. Yay! Haunted Tales. Oh. Diane Cedar. Oh, are you my troll in my house tonight? Guess what? You won't be here long. Diane. Interesting. So, we don't, you know, that's all I can say. Interesting. Oh well. So look, voila, poofy. So now we got to figure out what we're going to do for the tails. I always keep this on here to keep this from going. Hold on, y'all. See if I can get my comments up here since they weren't working. Got it. Okay. So cool. I know. I saw. What are you going to do, Brenda? Those of you, I'm not saying this person is, but I will find out, is we have trolls every now and then. And a troll is somebody who sits at home, has nothing better to do, and they get on somebody's website and they just do silly, stupid things, ask weird questions, or try to make havoc. So, it is what it is. So, hopefully, we just ignore them. They go away. Alright, so let's decide what we're going to do. You guys got to help me with this. So we know what the wreath looks like. I'm going to put that over there. So I'm going to kind of stick this over here like this, and I'll put the sign like this. Hopefully you guys can see that. Hopefully my iPad's not really in your way. So now we got to decide. I know... Why is there always a ribbon rolling off the table? Oh my god, where did you go? Hold on, it went that way. Okay. I'm coming in front of you guys. You can see my roof. Where'd it go? Oh, good golly. Oh, now I see it. Didn't go that way. It went over this way. It blends in. Well, I know for a fact I'm going to use this one that says farmhouse on it. I know, it's a sofa for sale. But see, you know what? I could sell you a sofa, love seat, and an ottoman if you really want one. Let me know when you want to come pick it up. That's how I go. So, oh, my pen is bent. So I know I'm going to use this one because it says farmhouse on it. So I'm going to use that for sure. And I'm going to use this just in, I think, in the ribbon. Because it's not going to be, I don't know how long that is. If I go star to star, was that 10? It's over, that's like 15, 16 inches long. Hold on, let's see, if we go just to star, 10, 11, 12, 13. But then if I scrunch it in the middle, you're going to see, I don't know, you might not see all the words. So I was going to use this in, I was thinking just in the ribbon, the bow. But let's put everything out, and you guys can help me decide. I don't want to use that. That. That's navy. That. I have chickens. I have chickens. And you know what? I'm going to use this just in the bow because if it's too much lettering, I mean, I could do the bottom in this and then do something up here, but I think just in the bow because it's so black. Again, because I want her to keep this up all year, I just want this to be in the bow. So you go over here. Yes. Yeah, if it was a lighter color ribbon, maybe it'd be okay to do around, but if I wanted to keep this up for the spring, summer, you know, the black would be too heavy. But I have cows and chickens and this I can use in the tail. What's with my pins? I know, I like it too. I don't even know if I've used it. I must have used the black ribbon something because I'm bending all my pins because I have it open. All right, so tails. No. Okay. I'm thinking a wider ribbon. I could do like opposites. I could do these two together and these two together like that. I know, I like it all. Whoop. So I can do like opposites, like that. They're all like rolling all over the place. Or I can keep them all the same and bring like oops, wrong way. Wait a minute. Yeah. No. I could do something like that. I don't know, the check, I don't know, maybe in the bow. Yeah, the bow I haven't figured where I'm going to put the sign yet. If I'm going to put it in the middle or off to the side or the bottom. But I got to figure out tails. I think I'm leaning, why can't I do this? I think I'm going to do, that's why. Like that. What do you guys think of that? I do like the tan. I can put it in the bow. The check I'm going to put in the bow because this is so much check. So I was thinking, you know, I could put it in the bow. I can use these in the bow. I can do that too. I can make the bow. I can make it 20 zillion bows. No, I'm kidding. And I have a little sparkle if I wanted to use a little sparkle. I think this for the tails. Because it brings out both colors in the sign. You think? If you guys think this is good, give me hearts. Those little emoji hearts. No sad faces. Crying faces. Why? Okay, so this is it. Now here comes in. Oh, should I do this? Maybe that. Instead of 2 chickens, I'll do this one and this one. Why don't I do that? No sad faces. No mean faces. Thanks, guys. Thank you. I think we'll do this. Because that way it's not all the same. It gives a little variety on it. Alright, now here's the question. I couldn't decide when I was doing this. I got my perfect tails from my soul sisters. If I wanted to do 14 inch or 13 inch. So this is some ribbon. I just had that and I'm not too fond of. So I cut one at 14 inch and one at 13 inch. So, because I wasn't sure how big this was going to come out. Cool. Got it. These are my tails. So I cut 2 different sizes. And I did it like this color just so you could see. And usually I do my tails at 13 inches. That's normally what I do. And for some reason, with this one, I'm thinking 14 inches. I don't know why. 13 inch, 14 inch. I like the 2 chickens too, Brenda. But I wanted to use this one. And if I put it in with the black farmhouse, it might blend out. You know, it'd be like too much writing. You'd be like, what are you saying here and here? 14 inch, that's what I was thinking, the 14 inch. I think it would be good. Hey, Donna. I think the 14 inch, because this is so poofy. If it was more of a flatter wreath, maybe the 13 inch. So see, you guys help. I like to get you guys involved. 12 inches, like, I think would be too small. On this one here, I did 12 inch tails on the inside and I did 13 inch tails on the outside. Because this is so flat, I really wanted to, you know, I usually do it 12 and 12, but this time I said, let's do it 13, you know, on the outside and 12 on the inside. Mix it up. So they were a little bit longer sticking out. So I like doing it that way. I could do that too, Melanie. Well, let's cut the 14 inch because we know 14 is going to go on the outside. So let's do that at least. And then we can go from there. Okay, so we have 10 on the outside, so I'm going to use 5 of each. And last night I did it on there to show you how I did it. So tonight it will be on here so we can roll them together. Might make it thick, but we'll see. And I did it that way, so this is opposite of what I did it. So I may be clumsy doing it the opposite way. So this way you only have to cut them, roll it once. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, Barb. 5. See, because I did it opposite. Now I gotta go back here. All right. And then we can just cut them and cut them. My scissors. And it's going to have 3 on one side, 2 on the other. Oops. Split them that way. All right, so that's those 5. Oh, hey, Carrie. How are you, my friend? I just saw you pop on. I saw somebody say, hey, Gary. I was like, what? I missed it? All right, so let me get some pins out since I bent all those other ones. Look, Dollar Tree. Little thing. Dollar Tree may have, you know, I know some people don't like buying Dollar Tree stuff, but look, these clips came from Dollar Tree, and you get a bunch of them. I don't know how many. My friend bought me 2 packages of them. So they have some nice things. You have to watch what you buy in any store, but they do have some things that you can buy. I like how people get creative with their stuff and make things like Scott from Design with Scott. He does some really cool stuff with Dollar Tree stuff, making topiaries and things, and it's just cool. You don't think about it. You know that you can take things like that. So 1, 2, 3. I like him too. Hey, Jacqueline. Okay, I lost my count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a minute. Wait, I'll answer. Wait. 5. Okay. So she got me those, and I have the Dollar Tree just clothespins because, you know, when I'm doing ruffles or something, who needs to spend like $6 on a bag of clothespins, you know? $1 works for me on some of those things. God, I'm like banging everything all over the table today. And let's go down here. Voila. So we'll put that back there for right now. And we'll flip these babies around. Hello, Mary Jane. How are you? I'm just rolling this up a little bit. Just because if I have to answer something on the computer, it's all in the way. Alright, so let's dovetail these. So I got 4 together. If you can do more with your scissors. I sometimes don't like to because sometimes you'll miss one and one doesn't come out really sharp, you know, point on it. The sharper you go down into this, the pointier you get. If you go too deep on the angle, you're going to wind up, you know, your curls, your edge, your little pointy things here are going to curl. So just keep that in mind. All right. Well, this is an awkward number. So we got to make sure we get that red one in with this one. Odd numbers, 5 and 5. And usually I have this done, but I just couldn't make up my mind. Just couldn't make up my mind, y'all. So I needed y'all's help. I always slam my stuff down on the table. Good God. I hate to hear what that sounds like for you guys. Hello, Susie. I watched your video, Miss Susie Brown, how you went around to all those vendors, and I was like, show me more. And, why is that one longer? And I really like that. And I can't wait to Wreath Makers Live. I really can't. I'm excited to meet you, my friend. Now make sure your chickens are all going the same way. Because when you put them in, you don't want them to go opposite ways. Like these guys are upside down. Be standing on their heads in that wreath. Yeah, I like how you went around and you were talking to everybody. And I'm like, oh, you made me feel like I was there. Even though I wasn't. I mean, a lot of people did videos and stuff, but which was cool. And it was nice to see everybody getting together to do some crafts and have fun. Soul Sisters had their pajama party. Whoops. Going on. So which way am my cows facing that way? Yeah, spread the love, you guys. Here, share the page. If it's your first time watching, type the word alert, and Rosie, my robot, will send you a message in the alerts, in your personal message there. Just type the word alert back to her. And hit anywhere on this page. Whoops. And those 3 little buttons will pop up top. And hit the notifications on that too. Let's have fun. Let's have fun. Gary, I don't know who she is. And it may be somebody I may know. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But I don't know who she is. There's so many people out there. I don't... How come we can say share on the page? I can say share. But if you guys want to tell me that you shared, you have to say spread the love, you know, or anything. Don't ask Sally. Facebook is just doing weird things. First it was I couldn't say share, but you guys could. Now it's like you can't say the word share, but I can. So I'm just like spread the love. Somebody, what was that phrase somebody used earlier? Oh my gosh, which I really like too. I forgot what it was. Oh, okay. I don't... Let me be as courteous as I can. Is that as courteous as I can? I usually do this. Oh, I gotcha. Thanks, Gary. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody. I don't know how to phrase it. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, because if I do it for one, then I have to do it for another and another and another. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I don't know how to put it. That's the best I can phrase it. There was a big thing last year in the fall. People were coming on people's pages and saying this one's going to do live and this and that. And a lot of people got upset about it because, you know, they were trying to do their business and everybody say, oh, such and such going live. Let me go do watch their live. And then, you know, the person that was doing their live, you know, lost viewers and stuff. And that was a big thing that went around, like I said, last year. It was back in the fall time frame. And a lot of people's feelings got hurt by it. So I try to stay neutral on things because I don't want to. And I'm glad you asked. And again, it's not to be disrespectful. If I have somebody like Leslie Rains, I'll promote this because I say, hey, she that's where I got the sign. Where did I get these? Mary Rodriguez. I'll promote people's stuff that way. I think these are all hers. Yep. All the chicken stuff came from Mary Rodriguez. All the ribbons. So I'll do that. You know, I have no problem telling people where I get this stuff from. I got this from Pottery. I don't know where I got the jute mesh from. Oh! Oh God, Heather. Let me tell you, my first one, like I said, was on the Bow Dapper. And depending what we're going to do tonight, I don't know if I want to do these opposites. I kind of like it down. I don't know, I mean, you know, you go through phases where everything has to be opposite, and then you do something where I'm like, no, I just want the wording to be down. I want it to be like that. Now I'm going to make sure, because my cows are facing that way, now my chickens are facing the same way too. So that way everybody's going in the same direction. Although this is a farm, and you know how those animals go all over the place. So I'm keeping the chickens and the wording on top. Because the chicken wire is just as the background. Thanks, Gary. Now I feel bad. Anyway, alright, so that's what they're going to look like. So I just got to make sure I do every other one the way I want it to go. Because you know me, sometimes I'll put the same ones together. And we just fold these in half. And we're just going to scrunch them together. And I'm bringing them down like this a little bit. Bending them down. You can make them where they go, you know, I'll say the word more flat this way. I want them to be down this way because when your wreath is hanging on the side, you know, if you have everything more up this way, and then the side looks so naked, so to speak. Bare, not naked. Wait, as courteous to Carolynne and her live may be, privately tell others but not on her live. Oh, that's a good way to put it. Susie, thank you. Thank you. I really do fall in love just keeping getting orders. I'm ready to do fall. I just keep getting. Heather, hey, don't complain. Right? You always take the orders. I started doing fall only because that square wreath I want to do, and I have to find my girl scarecrow. It has to be a girl scarecrow for some reason. And if I find a boyman that looks nice, I don't know why. It has to be a girl. And Hobby Lobby was putting their stuff out. I looked online and I saw some, but they didn't have them out yet. So it just, you know how you just like, you got your mind set on something? And that's kind of where my mind is. So it's all, you know, I have everything else that goes with it. It's just, I need my scarecrow. Or a nice pumpkin might be good, but I think a scarecrow. I don't know why. It has to be a scarecrow. Has to be. You know, it was funny. Some people would say, all I'm doing is custom orders and I can't get anything up on my Etsy page. And I'm like, well, be happy. You know, I do things for both. My custom orders, I can't post on Etsy. You know, that's, you know, a sad thing to say. But if it's something that you want to make again, you can post it still. And then if you still have the materials. So that's something, you know, some people may want to think about too, is do it that way. You know, so that way you're still getting the sales. Like my military wreaths, I think well, I just sold one the other day. I sold my Air Force one, so I don't have any spares right now. So I did pull that one down, and I have to order, you know, some spare parts, so to speak, for that. But I keep all those on, you know, even if I sell it, but I have all the parts that I can just make it at a whim. So that's something you may want to think about too. If it's something that you think is a good seller all the time, you know, keep the parts on hand that you need for it, and then you can just whip it together and keep a picture up and just like, oh, bang, I can do that, you know, and do that too. Oh, it's like, what am I grabbing? Yeah. So there's a little tip for you. But I'm grateful whether I have a custom order, whether I have an online order, whether I'm making something for a relative, like we always do. We always make for family. You know how that goes. She didn't ask for this, so she doesn't know she's getting it. So, but I like making things. That's all I can say. So I'll take them anytime. So, like everybody, you try to stay a step ahead. Like now's a good time to start working on, you know, some fall, and next month, maybe even Halloween. Some people are already selling Halloween items, you know, wreaths and things now. So keep all that in mind too. All right. So we almost done here on the bottom. I think I'm going to, you know, I'm looking at this. I think I'm going to keep the 14-inch tails on the top too, because this is really poofy, and I think I want to keep them the same length. But when you do yours, you may want to do it 2 different sizes. You can do that. It's called having fun, being creative, being a designer. And that's all it is. I swear my husband thinks I'm just talking to a wall here sometimes. I come up here. Where's my other? There it is. I'll come up here and I'll be like, okay, well, you know, I'll be talking to myself. Okay, this is the sign I want. Now, what kind of ribbon? Let me look. Should I use brown, green, red? And my husband's like, who are you talking to? I said, me, myself, and I. That's who we're talking to. Because, you know, you got to think out loud on these things sometimes. And I lay it out. I'll take ribbon. I used to take a thing like this and bring out all Christmas ribbon and lay it across with the sign and go, okay, take that out, take that out. You know, when I first started, because I didn't know mixing patterns and stuff like that you can do. And I learned. I was like, huh, they do look good. I may not wear those, but they do look good together. Hey, Debbie, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, this is the last one on the bottom, and then we got to cut more for the top, y'all. If you see any chickens and cows going the wrong way, let me know. Y'all should be facing going that way. So we'll check before we do the next row. Yeah, I do want to keep it at 14 inches. I think that would be good. So start here, chicken, cows. Yep, they're all going the same way. Hallelujah. And I did this one upside down. Why did I do that? See? Now I could add some raffia in here on the twist sides if I want to make it that way too. And I learned from my friend Becky, the cookie lady, something she did which I didn't know. She would take her raffia, soak it in water. She'll, you know, open it all up and soak it in water. And for whatever reason, the water makes it less stiff. And then when she ties her little bows, she'll crinkle it up first, and then, you know, she'll make her loops and hold it in her hand and crinkle it up and then put it on. But I never knew that, to put it in water. Who knew? Thanks, Deb. All right, so that's the bottom. So let's do the top. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do these at 14 inches. 14 inches. So Sisters Perfect Tails. I used to sit and I did it this way, and for the longest time, and everybody kept saying, you need to get the perfect tails, you need to get the perfect tails. Like, okay. You know? You can't buy everything at once, you know? You gotta make money before you spend money. Alright, so that's 1, 2. This is 3. 4, and 5. Cool. Because we have 5 of each color. There we go. I thought I missed a loop in there. I was like, word. Okay, flip them all around facing the same way. There you go. So those guys are done. Yeah, I do the same thing, Brenda. I've never soaked it, and I never heard of that. And I thought, hey, I'll take my raffia like usually straight out of the bag, because you get like really thick pieces that you can split. You know, you just hold it when you could split it down if you don't want it as thick as that, which I've done. I usually like to throw one thick part in, and then, you know, some small ones in, thinner ones. It just depends what I'm making, design-wise. Oops, there we go. Did I do that right? Yeah, black with chickens. This. Okay, that's what was throwing me off. I put the red one over there. I was like, wait. I do like this together too, Brenda. I bought these specifically, these ribbons, to go with this sign, and because when I did it, I didn't know which way I wanted to go, how I was actually going to design it, and luckily, when I got that this mesh in, when I was down away, that kind of was like, ooh, oops, I kind of liked it. And although I didn't really know I was going to do it with this, I said, oh, black, white, and, you know, just like the sign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was, I knew I could use it even at Christmas time. Sorry. Got to count. Have to take 12 minutes. Okay. I'll be here probably, Bender. I'll be here. My dog's sleeping by the front door in her bed. That's her newest thing. And that's only there because her bed is usually up in our bedroom. And because she can't sleep up there. I had, since they're doing all the remodeling, which is going to go on forever. Guys, I'm not building like a, you know, somebody that lives in $1 million home type thing. This is just a simple bathroom. It's just simple. It had a tub type shower in it. That was old. Came with originally with the house when we bought it. The house is 40 years old, and it just needs updating and things. So yeah, tile is the way to go. You know, on some things. And oh, who is it? Lori? I think your name was? She sent me pictures of her bathroom that she did a couple years ago, and it was so funny. Her bathroom, some of her tiles that she has in her house, we did in another bathroom of ours. And I thought, oh my God, how funny that is that we have like the same tiles. She did it on her floor tiles, the floor that I used on our wall in the shower. And I thought, and her lights that she has in her bathroom are the exact same lights we're putting in our bathroom. And mind you, we have never ever met, ever. She was watching one of my lives and told me about her bathroom. And I said, oh, send me pictures. And so she did. And I said, oh, how funny. Small world. Small world, you all. All right, so let's get these babies cut so we can get them on. And again, these are at 14 inch. We did our poofs, so the inner at 10, the outer at 12. Tails are at 14 inch. We're doing, whoops. Ooh. And I'll pull this back so maybe you guys can see that. Some of y'all that are popping on can see the sign that we're going to be using. And this is going to be a gift for my daughter's mother-in-law and father-in-law for Christmas. I'm one of these shoppers that I have to stay ahead of the game. It's just like, you know, I have 3 kids, 2 grandkids, so that's 5. Each have husbands. 2, well, the one's not married, but he has a girlfriend. So that's another 3 people. So that's 8 people. Plus my husband makes 9. My dad, since he's the only parent that's still alive out of, you know, both my husband and my, so I have to buy for him. Then it's like, so that was like 10. Then we have my neighbor's 2 kids, because we're the adopted grandparents to them. So for 13 years, we've been giving them gifts. So I got to buy those too. So what does that make it? That 12 or 13 people. Then we have some good friends. I have known the one guy for, I don't know, like 15 years now, and his partner probably the last maybe 5 years. And so we exchanged gifts with them. So it's like 15 people. And I'm like, good God. So you got to keep on your toes and buying people gifts. And you know, and then you got birthdays throughout the year or anniversaries. And I'm like, so I gotta keep going. So I try to stay ahead, and then I gotta remember where I put all the gifts. That's the problem. So I said, I gotta get to one place instead of here and there, you know, because you try to hide them. So I was like, now that my master bedroom is in disarray, I used to keep some gifts in there, but now I'm keeping them in one place right now. And then, of course, you know, you have a party or something you go to and you see something that you can use for that. So it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so we got all those cut. And those of you that are new, I am one of these people. My table has to be neat. Sorry. I can't just throw things all over the place. That's just not me. All right, let's put all our animals the same way. And let's get our second group going here. Doesn't matter where I really start, but I will if it's one on top like that. I will start with the opposite color on top. So this is the black in front, so I'll do the cow if it's directly on top, so I don't have the two of them exactly on top of each other. Now I probably should have cut one shy because of the putting the bow. And again, I want to make sure all my animals are going the same way. So let's go here. So we have all our cows and pigs and everybody going the same way. Let me pull this around my way if you don't mind. There we go. Let's do some chickens. Some chickens. Oh, there's baby chicks on here. Baby chicks on here. Alright. And I'm going to bend these down a little bit because I don't know where I'm going to put the bow and the sign yet. So I guess let's stop here and decide. Now somebody suggested putting the bow at the bottom. So let's figure out, do I want the sign in the middle or off to the side? What do you guys think? Not up top, not down below. Middle's okay. Off to the side. So you guys tell me, middle or side? So this is how we'll do this. If you want it in the middle, give me the thumbs up emoji. If you want it off to the side, use the heart emoji. And I'll look to see which way you guys go. So you got to give me some emojis. Heart. Thumbs up. In the middle. Ooh. We're, guys, you guys are pretty much about the same. I think hearts are winning. Hearts, I think hearts won, y'all. No sad faces. All right, so I think it's gonna be hearts. Okay, hearts wins. Hearts wins. Hearts wins. Wait a minute. I forgot what I said. Was hearts in the middle? No, hearts to the side, right? I forgot what I said. Rewind. All right, somebody tell me what I said. Either Brenda says either way. Okay, did I say hearts for the middle? No, didn't I say hearts for the outside? Y'all type it in there. Type it. Tell me what I said. Because now I got confused because I was watching all the emojis. Trying to see who won. I'm such an airhead. I know. Hearts to the side. That's what I thought. Thank you. Lost comment side. Okay, got it. Hearts to the side. Hearts it is. I think they would be cute. I think hearts to the side. Hearts to the side. The sign to the side. See? This is the nut house. My house, I tell you. Oops. stick, don't stick. Now, I noticed you guys probably, or I probably should have told you some of the different ways you can do this. Am I doing it right? Black, black, red, black, red, yeah. This one is, some people will fold it this way because then when you open it, it's already facing down. Some people will fold it this way, and then it will be, when you, it kind of looks like the bird flying. It doesn't really matter. I started folding them down just because if you're going to put your ribbons down like that, it kind of already has them already arced. I'm just bringing them down like a V a little bit is all that I'm doing. And some of these ties I am opening up because one of the little things is a little bit shorter than the others, but usually I don't open them. I usually twist it 1.5 and I may open it back a half just so I can put the ribbon in, just to let you guys know. Hey Janie, sorry. Gotcha. I was like, wait. Hello, hello. Is it your first time watching, Janie? Love having people come watch. Spread the love, you two, y'all. We like having peeps coming in. I don't know. Raffia, no raffia. I don't think raffia. Now you can stick it like at Christmas time, little balls and stuff on here. Sometimes I'll even stick them on before I'll do it. I don't know if I have any on over there. I like doing it at Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas, a lot of those. Just because it gives a little, you can leave it up. These I'll probably curl down. You can twist them and tuck them in under the ribbon too. But these are a little bit stiffer. And I mean, I can leave them sticking out. It doesn't matter. I've been under the weather and not watching my lives, but I'm curious how the bath is coming along. There is no door in the bathroom. I did a video Friday. I think it was Friday. And just kind of give you guys an update for the past week. Those of you that don't know, we're redoing the bathroom, our master bedroom. This has been going on since February. 6 to 7 week project. This is week 20. So what does that make it? Oh, the end of 5 months. So you have to go back, watch the videos for all that. So the glass door I have, it's the panel that they broke. And oh guys, I cut 10 and I only needed 8. Dork. See, wasn't paying attention. I was counting 20. That's okay. We'll use them for something else. We'll see if it looks. We'll see how it looks. It might give it a more country look. Once I get the sign on there, we'll see. And they broke the glass. So this past weekend, the guy, after meeting with the contractor and subcontractors, yada yada, I gave them a punch list of this is what I see. But that doesn't mean if they see something, you know, they gotta fix it and do it right, because you know, you can always go to court. So, oops, hold on, let me get my raspy yellow. Oh, that's yellow raffia. I want tan raffia. That's the one in the bag. Sorry for the rattling. Hold on. Get that out. Oh, the orange fell on the floor. And I'll just stick you right there on the door. So let's see. Let's put the sign on first, and we'll see where we can go from there. What I do with these, I keep a box, and I'll divide it like between summer and fall, and I put my extra ribbons in there, like that, because it's my way. Or you can wrap it back around here so you know that you used it, that you have extra. Now this, I could staple this. All the little pieces of those twist tie things. Yeah, I mean, I did it all. Sometimes I'll leave a space and not put the tails in if the bow, depending how big the bow is, because it's going to cover it. But I cut the tails, so I might as well use it. So these are cable ties. peel and stick. The ones with the green back are a little bit better for the outside than the ones with the white back. I could staple this, like I said, and I debated about that, but I'm choosing for this one to use these. She has an over-covering, you know, a porch out front, so I'm not worried about heat or anything like that hitting on this, you know, or rotten butt glue or anything. So, I felt this was okay to use. And what I'm debating, if I want to come in, two of them might be right at the angle, and I might come in a little bit on the other one so you're not going to really see it from behind. So that's what I'm looking at. The uppers. So these two, I'll come in at the same, right at the edge. Oh, I see what you're saying. Put them in the bow. I just saw that. Alright, so this is what they call rapid fuse. People can get it at Walmart. I get it at Joanne Fabrics. Some people can find it online. Doesn't matter wherever you want to get it from. And it just is an extra adhesion that I like to use on these. Instead of just a peel and stick babies. So these are my two that are going in here. And I'm just going to pull these two back a little bit. You can find these on Amazon. You can go to Home Depot, Lowe's, and they'll have them in the electrical department, like for cables and stuff like that. As well as the zip ties, you can do that too. I buy my zip ties online with Amazon because I can buy more in bulk. And I like to buy better in bulk. And I notice I only have a few more of these. I have to order some more. So, I think I got on that pins. Alright, so then because I'm using red ties, I will use red ties as well for these. Not that it makes which difference I put this on. And, oops. Because this is a thick wreath, gosh, Carolynne, I'm going to go ahead and just use a single, and I can wrap it around from back. If you want to, you can connect two of these together and make it longer that way. It's your choice, but I'm just choosing it to do it this way. I think if my tails are long enough, I can stick them in the bow as extras. Because I've done that. I've made bows, and then, you know, you take it apart. And you can just make like a little loop at the end, or use it, you know, if you're going to use a zip tie to tie it, you can use a, you know, extra piece of ribbon on there. Alrighty. Here we go. Almost done with that one. Hello, Miss Jan. How are you, my friend? Jan's my favorite lady. Alright. So I'm standing up. You may not see me in the thing because I want to stand over this so I can put it on it, because these are the two that I'm going to put in an angle. I want to make sure my tails are going to be out. And once I decide, I have this green pencil and it's worn off the green when I wrap the little curls, the things around it, because I'm going to wrap these and put them behind it. So I'll give them some extra twist here. And then I'll just take this pencil and I'll just wrap it down and around. So it goes like that. So it's not sticking up. So let's see. And I'm going to go right through the mesh, hopefully. It's a lot of mesh to go through. And then you got to find it on the other end. Yeah, you got it. Oh, I had it. All doing this without, it's kind of like the magician, without seeing it. So I'm just going to take it and wrap it around this, just to hold it there so I don't lose it. And I'll do the one that's on the angle. And make sure my tails are out, because I don't want to get those all scrunched in there. Thread this baby through. And do same. Just wrap it around once just to hold it there. And let's get the other ones going. I hope she's going to like this. You know, when you're giving a gift, sometimes you take a gamble on what you're giving them. And you just hope they like it. But I think she will. She's an appreciative person. This one's just going to come on an angle here. And then let's see where we are with this. Because one thing you don't want to do is have a sign that's going to flop all around, needless to say. And let's see where I am with these tails. So you can bring the tails on top. You don't have to have them all tucked underneath. I kind of smushed all these, didn't I? Look at that baby. Really squished that baby. There's one hiding underneath here somewhere. At least if I pull the edges out. There we go. Alright, so that's going to be our sign. So I do have to tighten it up. I have to figure which way I want to tighten it first. That top corner, and sometimes what I'll do is push down on it a little bit just to make sure, and then I just wrap these around, zigzag them, cross them over each other and stuff like that. I'll go back and I'll cut them and tie them in really well. When I finish with the whole thing. So you guys don't have to be bored with all that stuff. But I'll just wrap this around enough. Does she watch your lives? No, she doesn't watch my lives. No, she's never been on my lives, so that's good. But my daughters come on my lives. Sometimes, you know, and it's the one daughter who I was like, no, I don't want her to see, because then she'll know. Not that that makes a difference, because it's not like she goes and tells her, hey, my mom's making this for you, you know. But now I can poop these up and curl them up to make them more three-dimensional, not flat like a pancake one. Because we want this to be nice and poofy, not flat. And you just run your hands behind them, and just like you would your hair, you know, when you want to do this with your hair, do the same with your ribbons. All right, so I think we're going to do a bow right here, and I don't know if I want to do. I don't think I'm going to do tails on the bow. Again, I think that's a little bit more formal for her, so I think I'm going to just do a nice Lisa bow, and we'll put a nice Lisa bow over there. This is where it's not going to stick or anything. Okay. Lisa, oh, the raffia. Let's see how the raffia looks. Now, this isn't wet or anything like that, so this is just like, I get it out of the box. Look, I probably made a bow or something. I was going to do something with something. Do something with something. You just take a couple of strands. You can, the really thick ones you can split. Add some little ones in there. And depending how thick and how big you want to make it, it's your choice. And all I do is I figure out a real funky long one. Not even a full one. And just figure out how big you want to make your loop. And just make your loops. And that's all I keep doing until I run out of raffia. So let's see how this looks. Oops. What do you guys think? What do you guys think with the raffia? Thanks, Sally. I kind of like it. Now, I don't have to do it in every single one. See, like this is a really thick one, so I can just take this and you just stick your fingers and split it. I kind of like the raffia, y'all. Whoopsie. I think it's like the straw, you know, for the animals to eat. I do like this. I do say so myself. I kind of like it. Oops. Yeah, I'm thinking every other one too, Brenda. Because too much is too much, you know? And it just gives it... And you can take this and do this with it, you know. It's raffia. I do like that. Now this one twist eye is really long than the other. Yeah, I do. Where did my green monster go to? Yeah, I think that looks cute. It just gives it a little something, something, you know? A little extra. Need some thin ones in here. Well, that wasn't... that ain't gonna do me any good. Split this one up. Yeah, sometimes if you do it, I mean, for maybe scarecrows, you know, I'll do like every one. And, but I think this one, ooh, should I put it on the chicken? No, I like it on the red ones. It doesn't, I'm going to switch this one. But I do like it right by the bone. Right there, looks cute. We'll do these on the red on the bottom, and we'll do the black and white ones on the top. How's that for changing it up? Again, sometimes these come out so long, one of them. Let's roll this baby down. And like I said, you know, Becky from the Cookie Lady, it was a cool idea. I'm going to have to try her idea about soaking this. But I've never tried it. I'm always up for suggestions and ideas. It's my New York ideas. You know, New Yorkers, we add R's to everything. It's not idea with an A. We say idea. Like, I want 2 beer, dear. It's not 2 beers. It's 2 beer. My friend Sally has an accent to me. Your chair sounds like a puppy one. Oh, it does. Yeah. Sorry. I don't think anybody has a chair that doesn't squeak, or I want to get one of those like mats to go underneath the chair because I am on a hardwood floor, and I'm just afraid I'm going to ruin my floor. And I keep saying I got to go get one, and I keep forgetting to go get one. Oh, I'll do it one day. I mean, if we ever move out of this house, we're going to redo the floors anyway, so because of the dog. But, oops, let's just tie the raffia in there. It is a little squeaky. If I hear it in the middle of the night, hello, I'll know somebody's in my craft room that shouldn't be in my craft room, that's for sure. I'm not one of these people. Some people like to stand up when they do their crafts, and that's okay if the table was high enough, you know. Listen, you know, as you get older, your body doesn't work as like you like it to work. So the knees will take the toll, the back takes the toll, and I'm one of those people that would rather sit. Like tonight, it's like weird. I have both my knees have been replaced, and when I sit too long with it bent, my one knee, something is like catching in there. I actually have an appointment next week with my orthopedic, and I'm like, well, tell me no surgery, because it ain't gonna happen until I come back on Wreath Makers Live. Because I mean, hell or high water, I am going to that event. I've been waiting almost a year for that baby, so I'm going. I think I'll stick one more in here. There we go. Oops. And it just like catches. And when just before coming on the live, I was like, I hope you didn't see. You guys couldn't see because I was like walking on my one toe, because it was just like something's catching in there, and it just like kind of locks it and doesn't want to go straight. Do you, Brenda? I can't, you know, because I'm at a table. I don't have one of these high tables like people can stand at, and I do have a rod in my back. So I have I have extra cushions, and I have a pillow behind me if I sit back, which would be nice. But I'm always sitting forward on the chair. But I can't sit on a stool long because the rod is like right there at the base of your spine, you know. And sitting on a hard surface, it's like taking a pencil and sticking like that all the time if it's on a hard surface. So it's not very comfortable for me. But I use these cushions like in the house, you know. When I'm seeing my granddaughter, of course, you gotta get on a little kid's chair. Good Lord. With that, because I have to sit on put my butt on a pillow, because those little wooden chairs. It's an antique table with the old like wooden chairs like you probably saw in kindergarten, you know, and oak chairs, and I stick a pillow on it because I can't sit without it. Alright, this wrap here is junk here. Nothing to use. Oh, more rattling. Oops. Put those away. Oh. Let me put the green in here since I don't forget about that. Alright. Oops. My business coach saying he's going on in a half an hour, so we gotta get this baby going. So let's do this. I will finish the raffia, so you guys don't have to be any more bored. Let me put that down. Let's make this bow. Let's get this bow going. I do like this right here, so I'll do it like on the black ones here, since I did the red ones down here. So let's make our bow. I'm excited. It's gonna be a Lisa bow. So last night I used the bow dabber, so tonight we'll use the easy bow maker. Dun, dun, dun. We know we're going to use this farmhouse ribbon. We know we're going to do that. Bring some more tan in, so maybe go like this. I have these to use maybe at the end. I used this one last night in the bow up here because it's similar to this one. I don't know with that. And I can use that on here. Let's think. Think. Oh, if I do that, I need red. If I do chickens, then black. brains are going as I'm limping over here. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. I want one more. One more. Ooh. I could bring that in. Hold on. My brain was not anticipating what I was thinking. Hold on, hold on. Because I changed this up. This here. I need one more ribbon. Hi, Judy. Oh, I agree with you, Brenda. I know how it... Oh. I wanted a little sparkle. There we go. I thought maybe using this kind of country. Oh, gosh. Because I threw this into the mix. What if I take that out? What if I reverse this? And do that? No, because this isn't as stiff as that. Look at me. I'm going to drive you guys nuts. I think that's the way we'll go. But although I wanted to bring this in there. Come back. You run away. Or should we use this one here? Oh gosh. What if I flipped, 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 flipped? The tan, this tan doesn't look right to me. I think this. Red and white stripe. You think this one? This isn't as stiff. I could put it in there. What about that? I think that. I have my tan, I have my black and white, I have the tan in there. I think this. And this is just a little pop to give it a little shimmer. Somebody earlier said they like the tan, so I'm trying to use that. I think it would look good like that. Okay. Stay. Don't move. What do I do like that? Alright, so let's reverse this. Put these over here before I'll get myself confused. Because you know how that goes. Alright, so let's reverse these babies and start making a bow. The check is a tan. And I thought it would be, oh God, I stabbed myself in the neck. Because in the barn, I don't don't know if you guys can see it very well. In the barn, there's a tan, like as if it was a wooden barn on the outside, and some pieces here. And of course, I did the jute in the tan. So, just bringing in, you know, you always think of outdoors and the farm picnic. Instead of red and white, we're going to do brown and white. We can always change it. We can always, although I do like that black and brown. Stick with what we start. No, be too much black. I don't want too much black. Nope. Alright, so since we're doing a Lisa bow, we don't need the tail to be super long because we're going to cut it. I'm going to make it about 8 inches. Last night I showed you guys, I do it old school too, and I can use this or I can do it old school. Old school, I just kind of bent it around and did it measuring that way. Here I'll do it new school. So this way, this is my tail. I made it about 8 inches long. I'm going to flip this up. And we're still at 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I think this bow can handle a 7-inch. So we're going to go 7 inches on the loops. So bottoms up means, because this has a right and a wrong side to it, we want to make sure we do opposites each time. So once it's in, or you can flip it up here and do it, it is your choice. We're under pressure now, guys. Oops, I was going 6 inches on that one. So we're going to have 2 loops here. And we're going to have 2 arms and a head here. And I usually cut these a little bit longer, so in case I have to change a loop or anything, I have that. I will dovetail in later. This has the measurements on here, so I can use it here, or you can use your mat. Because as you start building your bow, it may get hard to see, so you can always use your mat as your guideline as well. Go for it. Yeah, like I said. Oh, I hit 10,000 steps. I didn't even move off my chair. How funny. My husband and I have this thing, we kind of, because I'm housebound with all this stuff, I can't get out and walk around as much as I used to run, and I can't even run because I'm stuck here at the house. Alright, so I'm just going to turn this around. It makes it easier for me. Now, because this has words on it, I don't want the words to be upside down. So I will be doing this old school. Now, you can put it here and do part of it and then cut it and then do the other part. Your choice. Alright, I'm just going to keep this about the same length. And what I mean by old school is I'm going to do it from behind. And what I'm going to do... Oh, never mind. I thought it said 2 different words. I'm just going to start it so you can kind of see the whole word. And this is going to be 6 inches long. So I'm going to go from here. 6 inches, meaning the loop length will be 12 inches. And then you're going to just loop it in half, so that makes it 6 inches. So that's a 6 inch. Now, because of the words, if I were to do this the regular way and flip this, then these words are going to be upside down on the other side. So by old school, I'm going to make sure that my words stay face up. So I'm not going to twist it upside down. I'm just going to reverse my bow. If that makes sense to you. So basically bring it in front, but because I got my ribbon over there, I can't do that. Let me turn my fingers around. Hold on. There we go. So see how my words are staying right side up? Do the same for the next one, 12 inches. So that will make my loop 6 inches long. You can always test them this way. And then the last part down here, I will flip this bottom one so that the words will be facing hopefully the right way. Flip you here. Hopefully we can get those guys facing the same way. Those guys may be upside down, but you're not going to really see that one. So we're going to do opposite, okay? So this time I have the feet going down here, and I'm going to have my arms going up here. My most important thing is to making sure all my words are facing the same way, and they are. I wish I could get more wording, but it didn't work out that way. I could flip this maybe. Hold on. Let's see if I flip it this way. Yeah, that actually works better because you see more of the lettering. Cool. Voila. So when you do like Christmas, we have a lot of the Merry Christmas words and stuff like that. Right, Sally? I know, I have to get up early too. My little munchkin's coming early tomorrow. But I want to get this done with you guys, so that's because I was yapping again and I didn't have my tails done for you. Alright, so opposite again. And this goes quick. Once you get the first part of it going, then you're good to go. Alright, so do this, and I'm going to do bottoms up. So I did 7/6. This will be about 5 inches, give or take. You just make it a little bit smaller than the last one so you can see the loop underneath it. If you can't, like I said, you can spread these out to see if you can see your numbers underneath. If not, use your board. It makes it easy for you as well. So I line it up with whatever, and I'm just going 5 inches, which is there. Same thing, bottoms up, twist it good. And then I'll just take this one and loop it on top of the other one to get my length. And I'm good to go. And cut the tails. Cut the end, not tail, because it's not a tail yet. Alright. And I'm just going to put these over here out of the way because we're going to bring the wreath back eventually. Now I want to change that because I got that tan one. Oh no, because I got the red one. Switch it up. Do your tails. Can go a little bit small if you want to use your thing. This one will be about 4 inches long. Excuse me, 5 inches long. Because we did 7/6, 7/6, 5. This is 4 inches, sorry. It's about 4 inches. This one doesn't really have a right or wrong side on it. So it doesn't really matter if I flip it bottoms up or not. And this one, since we added this one came from Carolynne.com. Like I said, all the farmhouse ones, and I believe that tan one came from, yep. All the other ribbons came from Mary Rodriguez. Mary's Wreaths and thing. Wreaths by Mary, excuse me. And Carolynne from Carolynne.com came the tan one. Now you can spread these out as you go, or you can do it at the end. I kind of go back and forth both ways. No right or wrong. Bottoms up. Make it a little bit smaller. And there we go. Now this I will use a zip tie. To start it, and then I'll stick a pipe cleaner in there too, which I should have done in the beginning and I forgot. But it doesn't matter. I could do it either way. And this is just a little sparkle. What a little sparkle. And I'll cut this one at the end. I think what I'm going to do is just do one loop of this. You know, like the breast cancer loop, and just do a little one like that. And stick it in there. Because I just want a little sparkle. I don't want a lot. Okay, so I'm going to stick that in at the end, I think. Let me get my red pipe cleaners, which I need to buy more of. I'm almost out. Oop, pencil, don't go anywhere because I'll forget where you were. Now I'm going to stick two of these together, and what I just do is just twist tie them together like this, because this is a rather thick wreath and I want to make sure I have it long enough. So because I'm using a zip tie, I'm just going to thread this through on the bottom here. My zip tie is what I'm going to use next. Crunch my bow down, make sure I get that chenille stem in there, that pipe cleaner. You can start it. Do you hear it click a little bit? My pipe cleaner. There we go. Keep it together, twist it around. Let's slide it over a little bit. I don't know, maybe I might not put that black one in. Let's see. Before you pull it really tight, just make sure your guys are where you want them to be. Because once you tighten this baby, you ain't going back. You know how that goes. And I'm just kind of roughly, quickly pulling this apart just to make sure my tails and my things are where I want it to be. Now I could have stuck this in there if I wanted to, but I'm not. I didn't. Do I want to do that? It just gives a little something, something. Oops, here. What I'm going to do is take a little piece of wire with my bags, because I've got my computer in the way here. Here it is. I thought it was down there on the drawer. This is going to be so small you're not even going to see it. Hey, Ann. You could do it this way. You could do a loop and your tail, and then you can cut it and leave it, you know, it a little bit long on one side, so when you gather it, and then you could do the other loop and do it that way too, Jerry. So there's several ways you could do it. I do it this way sometimes. Sometimes I'll cut it. It just depends. I say the word, whatever mood I'm in that day, right? So let's bring this just around, behind. Oh, why don't I just cut this baby off? So I don't have to deal with that. Cut this off. Now, what I'll do sometimes on some wreaths, like I will put a little dab of glue on this, This is deep enough that I know it's not going to really hurt their window or door in any way, so I'm not worried about it. And I'll just clip this off. I'll just fold this back down around and put it underneath the ribbon. So this little part, now I can adjust this if I don't want it as big as what it was, and all it is just a little poof like that in the middle of the bow. And I'll cut these off. So let's get it on the wreath. Oh, it fell. My perfect tail. Alright, so, and again, she's not a big gaudy person, so a really huge bow wouldn't fit her. I think this is going to be the right size for this. My pipe cleaners. Let's get our pipe cleaners on here. Just tie these once, twice. And we're going to put her bow. Oh, I think she likes this. I hope she does. I hope she does. Ooh, that went through really easy, that one. Of course the other one won't. You know how that goes. Let's see. Yeah, there's several ways, you know. Hey, Ann. I don't know if I said hello to Ann. I do one technique on doing bows. And I'm going to sit down because this is not going through. And somebody else may have a different way that works. And you just figure out how it works for you. I learned the hard way. Did a whole bow. Didn't even pay attention to that. It had words like that they would be upside down when I made one of my first bows. And I was like, oh, that was silly. Where's the other tie? So, and then I had to figure it out. I didn't have anybody show me. I mean, I've seen some different ways to do it, and I went, oh, I could use that and do that in here, you know. Alright, so again, I'm going to stand up. You're not going to see me. Now, I could have fluffed this out on the fluff box, too, but I always wind up squishing it anyway. So I'll do it both ways. And I'm just pulling it so everything kind of spreads out. See, and I want the bow to come more this way. See, that's where it is. It's hard to do when you're doing upside down and backwards, right? There we go. Alright, let's cut these little babies. Don't want to cut my tails. Let's see. It's just a little bow. Nothing big. I don't know. It wouldn't, for me, for her, bigger would not be better. So I like to cut all my same ones, the same colors, because then I'm like, did I cut that one already? I'm going about the same length as the loop is how I cut them. I don't want anything more than that because you want to see the ribbon underneath. So if your tail's longer than the one that was underneath, the loop underneath, it defeats the whole purpose. It's not straight. The red. Yeah, this red is cool, but it's, whoops, I almost did that one backwards. It's not as stiff. So if I use it in a bow, it's going to be somewhere in the middle, not the bottom of it. So that's sometimes you learn when you buy something. where it would work better to use and be better than having it looking ugly. Let me turn this around. Get all my red ones. Nope, got one hiding here. And then these little guys. I'll probably keep this as long as the red one is. Give or take a little bit. Because that's just going to hang down straight. And then you floof your bow to your heart desires. Missing a tail. There it is. And I'll go back and I'll curl all these and I'll put the rest of the raffia in. And I'll post this on my page so you guys can see it when as it's all literally completed with all the raffia. But I'll hold it up so you guys can kind of see. And I'll cut all the twist ties back, and again, like I said, I'll go ahead and curl them under so nothing is sticking out. Can you see that well? Which way? I gotta think. Right that way? I gotta wait. It's an 8-second delay here. So you guys get the idea, and I think that came out nice. If I did a bigger bow, it would not fit her personality. So I think I'm really hoping she'll like this and keep it up for the year for her. And I'll put some raffia on the black and white ones here, which I think would be perfect because it will highlight it like here on it. So it's cool. All right, y'all. So I'm going to say good night and thank you, me being Carolyn. I thank you for coming to NonnasNuttykrafts tonight and having some fun. And I know it was a little bit long because we had to decide on some tail and ribbon, and that's my fault. Because I just couldn't make up my mind. When you have so much ribbon that you like, it makes it really hard to decide. And you guys help out with that. So, till next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.